had asked a question. I mean, actually, Maharshi had asked a question that will be giving the same signal sequence. So I said that you should try it out, and so many people had tried it. Some of them had replied on the group also. So the answer to this particular case was that it will be the same. So you will get the same sequence. We'll see. We'll do this problem, but you will get the same sequence. However, there is a condition to it. The condition is as follows. Basically, if M and L are relatively prime, you will get the same answer. Relatively prime means no common factor. There is no common factor except 1. Like the only thing common between 3 and 2 is 1, right? The only thing common between 5 and 3 is 1. The only thing common between 5 and 2 is 1. So all these things, if you take M to be 5, L to be 2, if you take M to be 3, L to be 5, you are going to get the same sequence. But if suppose you take M to be 4 and L to be say 2, then if you do M is equal to 2 operation followed by L is equal to 2 operation, then you will get a sequence say x1n, and if you do L equal to 2 followed by M equal to 2, you are going to get a sequence x2, and x1 is not going to be same as x2. Then there was a question that was asked, is that if suppose sir we have something like this 4 by 2 into n, then can't we just cut it out and make it 2? Well, of course you can do it, but that means that then you cannot apply the operations. If it was a simple thing that could be cut like numbers, you can do it, but over here we are trying to relate this 4 to the process called decimation, and we are trying to relate this 2 to a process called interpolation. So if you want to see the overall result of interpolation followed by decimation or decimation followed by interpolation, you should not cut it, because right now 4 represents a decimator system, 2 represents an interpolation system. 2 does not represent a number, 4 does not represent a number. They represent a system operating on a sequence. So it will be wise not to cut it. So even if you are getting something like this, M equal to 4 and L equal to 2, please don't cut it and say it is X equal to 2n. So no matter what happens, I mean, the idea is that you should visualize this 4, this 2, or the number M or the number L not as numbers. I'm using the word number, I should not use it. You should visualize M and L as operations rather than numbers. Okay, so the question of cutting common factors does not arise, because you cannot cut operations, you can cut numbers. So over here, please don't confuse it with numbers. And let's take up an example for this to prove that it is actually true. So I think probably I told you to take an example. What was it? I think it was xn is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so this was the example, and let's say that we take M equal to 3 and L equal to 2, and we are performing this operation, which is 3n by 2. We are trying to find out this thing. What we are going to do is that we are going to do first 3n, and then we are going to go to 3n by 2. That means we are going to decimate first, and then we are going to interpolate second. Now tell me, so let's say that there is some y which is x3n. What is going to be the sequence? Can anybody tell me? You should know this now.
0 0 3 6 0 0 0.
So you will have 3 and you will have 6. On the other side you will not get anything, right? So there will be all 0 zeros and everything, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Then now y1 is equal to basically yn by 2. So this you can just call it yn. So once you do this, what are you going to get? You're interpolating by a factor of 2. So you will get 3, you will get 0, and you will get 6. Am I right? I hope it's okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you will get this, right? So this is basically your x 3n by 2. You decimate it first and then you interpolate it second. Now what is happening? Yeah. Now let me just write the sequence again. Xn is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now again, but now what we'll do is we will interpolate first and decimate second. So let's just call yn as x n by 2. What does that give me? Now between every sample we'll get a 0 in between. So it will be 1, 0, 2, 0, ये तो 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, and then 6. Right? Are you satisfied? This is the answer. I hope it's okay. Yeah? Okay. So now we go to y1n, which should be y3n, which means that we'll pick up every third sample. So we pick up 3 from here. First is this, then 1, 2, 3. We pick up this thing. So 0. Then we move ahead. We 1, 2, 3. We pick up this thing, which is 6. We go towards the left. 1, 2, 3. There is a 0 here, and there is nothing. So this sequence essentially is basically 3, 0, 6. And over here also you get 3n by 2. So you get the same sequence. See? You get this and you're getting this. So in this case, it is immaterial whether you perform interpolation first or decimation second, or you perform decimation first or interpolation second. It gives you the same answer. But let's say that we start with m equal to 4 and then we go to n equal to 2. What will we get? So let me just write the sequence again. So the sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let's just do this first. Let me just get some yn, which is x 4n. What is this thing now? Actually, ये sequence में कुछ आएगा नहीं, because we have number of values are less. We'll just give you a 3, right? So this example is not good. Let me just take another example or something. Let me just increase the values. Second. Let me just take a new sample altogether. Yeah, so let's say that we take -1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 0, -5, 6, 8. Right, and let's say we take this as 0. So if I do x4n, which is I'm decimating it by a factor of 4, so there will be a 2 which will be there in the sample, and the next value will be the fourth sample, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will get a 6, and then you will not get anything. On this side you will get -1, -2, -3 and -4. So m is 3. This is the sequence that you will get. Is it okay for everybody? If I'm doing something wrong, you can just tell me. I hope it's correct, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next, y1n I said should be equal to yn by 2. So that will be basically adding zeros here. So this is your x 4n by 2. Remember, I'm not cutting it because I'm performing operations and they are not considered to be numbers. Now the sequence is going to be big. So let's say that now I evaluate, instead of 4n, I evaluate n by 2. So what will that sequence be? That sequence is going to be -1 0 2 0 3 0 4 0 2 0 1 0 0 0 -5 0 6 0 8. एक बार चेक कर लो प्लीज whether I've done it right or not. I'll just wait for some confirmation from you people. इन दोनों के बीच में seems okay to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let's perform y1n equal to y4n. So let's do that. So which one? Yeah. So it will be 0, 2. Yeah, I forgot the comma. Thank you. Yeah. So we start with 2. Then we pick up 4 samples. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get a 0, which is this one. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. ये सेम कैसे आ रहा है? आना तो नीचे 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, which is -1. So this is what you get. So it is the same thing again, but the operations are different. You're getting different sequences. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. So, sir, which one is right?
It's not about right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong. It's just that you are performing two operations. You are doing decimation first and you're doing interpolation second. And then in the second one, you're doing interpolation first and decimation second. The idea to understand here is that if decimation and interpolation are done by a factor which have something common between them, a factor, you will get different sequences. The question of right and wrong is not there. It is just to show that if M and L are not relatively prime, it matters that whether decimation has to happen first or interpolation has to happen second, or interpolation has to happen first or decimation has to happen second. But if M and L are relatively prime, it does not matter. The question is not of right or wrong. I'm not saying which is the right answer. There is no right answer or wrong answer. I'm just showing that if this is your x1 and this is your x2, clearly they are not equal. So when you are designing a system in which you know that you have to decimate by a factor of 4 and you have to interpolate by a factor of 2, then you must know what should come first and what should come second, and that would depend upon what kind of an output you want at the output end. Suppose you wanted this sequence at the output. If suppose this was your input and you wanted this sequence as your output, then that means that you are going to first perform an decimation by a factor of 4 and then you will interpolate by a factor of 2. But if suppose you wanted this as your output, that means that you cannot now perform decimation first by a factor of 4 and interpolation by a factor of 2. You first have to perform interpolation by a factor of 2 and then decimation by a factor of 4. But suppose we had this signal as our input and we wanted a certain output, then because M is 3 and L is 2, it does not matter whether you do interpolation first or you do decimation second or vice versa. You'll get the same answer. So the question is not whether which one is correct. They are not. It's not about being correct. It's just to show that if L and M are not relatively prime, then you must know which operation has to happen first and which operation has to happen second, and you will come to know about it depending upon what kind of output you want. So generally we devise a system in a sense that we already know that okay, this is the input, because in communications or in signal processing or whatever, we already know what should the expected outcome be, because let's say that you are transmitting a sound signal from one end to another. So the idea is whatever you say at point A, which is the source, should be reproduced at point B. So you already have the signal at point A. All you need to do is ensure that that signal is generated at point B. So you also know the output. Then you design the system accordingly in between. So you would always know how your system has to be designed. So I hope I've answered your question. It's not about what is right and what is wrong. It is about what operation can you do first and what operation can you do second. And that depends upon what are the values of L and M and whether those values of L and M are relatively prime or not. Okay, so this is a discussion on what can happen first and what can happen second. Then there was another exercise that I gave you, and that exercise was, I said delay and reversal are not commutative. Did anybody prove this by themselves? I think nobody did. Okay. So the question is this. You are given xn. So let me call this delay as time delay td, and let me call this as time reversal tr. Okay, and you are given a sequence xn. What I'm trying to ask you is this. I am saying that td, tr, xn will give you something. tr, td, xn will also give you something. Are these two things equal? In the first case and in the second case. In the first case, I am operating time reversal first on xn, and then I am doing time delay. In this case, I am doing time delay on xn first, and then I am reversing it. So let's see what happens. So let's look at the first case. tr xn. What does this give you? So I'm doing time reversal. So this will simply give me minus n. Now I'm performing time delay on x minus n, which means that I'm replacing n by n minus k. So this becomes minus n minus k. So I get x minus n plus k. So the fill in the blank which is here, this becomes x minus n plus k. Now let's look at the second case. Second case is that I am doing time delay on xn. That means I am replacing n by n minus k. So this becomes n minus k. Then now I am doing time reversal on n minus k, which means that I am replacing n by minus n. So this becomes minus n minus k. So the answer to this is x minus n minus k, and clearly both are not equal. That means they are not commutative. Please remember that when you are going to be performing time delays, or you're going to be performing time advances, or you're going to be performing time reversals, the operation is performed on n. It is not performed on n minus k. Please remember that. That is very important. Even time scaling. So suppose I have a signal n, and I time delay it, it becomes n minus k. Now if I say that I want to interpolate this signal by a factor of m, so that is xn minus k becomes x mn minus k. This is interpolation. It is not the entire thing, but if I say that I have xn and I am first interpolating it and then now I am delaying it, so that case you are going to delay this sequence, so it will be n minus k. Let's do some problems and it will become much clearer. Okay, so let's take up some problems. I want people to do this exercise. Let's start with something simple. This is all that we are going to do today in the class. We're going to do some problems on folding and so on and so forth. The same sequence is there. Okay, tell me what is xn minus 3. This is simple. You should be able to tell me. बताओ, कोई भी बोले. कोई बोलेगा?
2 minus 1 0 1 2 3.
-1 -2 कहाँ से आ गया?
अरे xn minus 3 तो सारा वैल्यू शिफ्ट हो जाएगा ना.
हाँ, तो सीक्वेंस का तो 0 कहाँ आएगा ये बताओ.
6 पर हो जाएगा.
थर्ड
6 पे आएगा फिर.
हाँ 6 पे आएगा.
Everything is shifted to the right by 3. That means ये यूं जा रहा है, तो जो 0 है वो पीछे जाएगा ना, so you will get 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. It will start here. Start here. Okay, there is some confusion. Let me just do this. This is x n minus 3. What is y0? Y0 is x minus 3. What is x minus 3? It is 0. Okay. What is y minus 1? Oh, my battery is low. Just a second. Yeah. So this is x minus 4, which is 0. So we don't need to go further. Let's look at what is x1. x1 is x minus 2. What is x minus 2? It is 1. What is y2? It is x minus 1. What is that? That is 2. What is y3? It is x0, which is 3. y4 is x1, which is 4. y5 is x2, which is 5. y6 is x3, which is 6. So if you create this sequence, so what do you get? You will write 0. We started with -1, then y0, then 1 2 3 4 5 6, and its 0 is here. So this sequence, this one doesn't really matter. So your sequence is this. Anyways, you're shifting 3 to the right. So 3 to the right means the 0 shifts 1, 2, and 3 units. So this is what it is. Tell me now. Okay, so let's do some more examples on this. Tell me what is going to be y n plus 2. What is going to happen now?
सर 0 5 पे आ जाएगा.
Yes. So the only thing that is going to change now is that you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it is a left shift. So 0 will move 2 places. It will come from here and it will come from here and it will come. You can check that also. Y0 is your x2, and this was initially your 0 point. So x2 is 5. So that means your center element will be 5. Y1 will be x3, which is 6. Y2 will be x4, which is 0 because there is no x4. Y3 is going to be x5, which is 0. There is no x5. But y minus 1 is x1, which is 4. Here y minus 1 because y का 0 5 पे है. Y minus 2 is x0, which is 3. Here then y minus 3 is x what minus 1, which is 2, and so on. So just be a little careful. Where are you shifting your 0 point? That is very important. Okay. Now let's take up one more example. We'll do these examples only today. It will be a good practice. I'll also give some practice problems today after the class is over, and you people please do it. Next is evaluate x minus n minus 2. What will this be? That is my question. I am waiting for an answer, वैसे. Yeah, so the sequence is xn is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had given an algorithm also for you people to follow, and the algorithm was you will first do shift, then second you will scale if at all, and third you will reverse. This is the sequence. This is the algorithm with which you follow. So please follow that algorithm and then move ahead.
Sir, 6 5 4 3 2 1 and 0 goes to 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you will get 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the 0 is going to be here. Let's try to do it. The first thing that you will do is x minus 2. X minus 2 means that the sequence is going to shift to the right, which means that the 0 is going to shift to 2 places. So this sequence is going to become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you will get something like this. Okay. Then I said you have to reverse the scaling, which means that n becomes minus n, which means everything flips about 1. So it becomes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is it. Okay, so this is the answer. Next question is what is, for the same sequence xn, what is x minus n plus 1?
Sir 6 5 4 3 2 1 and 0 at 4.
Yeah, so you will get 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 will be at 4. It's very simple. First you will do xn plus 1. What will it do? It will bring the 0 to 4. it will bring the 0 to 4, and then you will have minus n plus 1. It will just flip everything about this 4, so it becomes 5, 6. You get a 4. And then you get 3, 2. So this is your answer. Okay, so what will be x2n? What will be x2n? Yeah, it will just be, just performing decimation, it will be 1, 3, 5 and 0.
सर ये माइनस n प्लस बनने में 5 6 होगा 6 5 होगा.
हाँ, sorry. So it will be 5 and then it will be 6. Yeah. Okay, next is x 3n minus 1. X 3n minus 1.
Sir, 2 5.
That's it. That is the answer. Okay. Now, I am giving you one more problem. That will be the last problem for the day, and then we will just end the class. I am going to give some problems on the group today, and by next DSP class. When is the next DSP class? It is on Monday. So I would want you people to try as many of them, and again, it's not a graded assignment or anything, but put it on the group. Just do it. Take a snapshot of it and put it as a PDF, or better than you put it as a PDF on the Google Classroom only. I just want to see what you do, so that you have an idea of where you're going wrong with it all. Suppose you have a sequence xn, and you need to get a sequence n minus m by n. Then tell me various steps through which this can be achieved. How can we achieve this? That is the question. We are starting with xn, and we have to transform this to n minus m by n, where capital M and capital N are integers. Think about it step by step how you're going to move, and let's see. Take maybe 2 minutes or something. Think about it. Bolo? No, don't believe in anything except what I've told you.
At least we should be provided from basic conditions.
No, there is no condition required. Otherwise, I would have provided it.
Okay.
There are just two integers, m and n. You have to play around with them and get this signal. There are no conditions required. There are no common factors or anything. There may be, I don't know, m and n could be two numbers that may have a common factor. I'm not interested. It's just m and n. Just do some manipulation and see how you can get it. We're just doing the last thing, I think. Maybe 5 minutes. I read it. Yeah.
I think firstly we need to multiply by capital N to N,
and then we need to shift by m and then divide by n.
So the first thing that you do, you tell me the operation that you perform. Tell me in terms of the operation.
Yes, sir, but I said the terms of operation. So firstly, we multiply capital N to N.
No. Don't talk in terms of multiplying. Talk in terms of which operation it is. Do you decimate? Do you interpolate? Do you time shift? Do you invert? What do you do? Talk in terms of those operations. Take your time. It's okay. You have to do this with the operations that we know. We know decimation. We know interpolation.
So firstly we do decimation
Okay.
by n, and then we shift from m, and then
एक मिनट नवरत्न बोल रहा है ना?
yes sir.
हाँ नवरत्न पहले बोलो क्या करा डेसिमेशन.
Then
No, एक मिनट डेसिमेशन बाय what?
n,
N.
yes, and then shift by m,
Then shift by M.
yes, and then interpolate.
So this shifting is going to be what? Is it going to apply on N, right? So N becomes N minus K. So that means it will become M minus M, like this.
Oh no. Okay.
This won't work.
First shifting by m.
Okay, first shifting by M.
Yes.
Okay, so you get X minus M. Fifth,
Where's a decimation by n.
then you do decimation by N, huh?
Yes, sir. Capital N.
So you do decimation by capital N. Okay.
Then interpolation by capital N.
Then if you do interpolation by capital N, then it becomes, if you do interpolation, then you replace N by N. So this becomes
this will
N
not
minus
have-
M.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
this will not give you.
Yes.
So shifting by capital M by N.
एक सेकेंड ये थोड़ा हैंग कर रहा है मेरा सिस्टम. ओके, who else? कोई और कुछ ट्राई करेगा?
So shifting by capital M by capital N.
Okay, shifting by capital M by capital N.
Yes, sir. The only condition should be that capital M is a multiple of capital N.
Capital N is a multiple, so that means it has to be an integer, right? But I did not give you any of that condition. Otherwise, it just would have been a simple thing, no? I mean, you just had to time shift. Okay, but I'm not giving you that condition. Of course, that could be one solution, provided this could be one solution that provided this is equal to k, right? Which is an integer.
But I read somewhere that this is the most appropriate, because in other case there is a second method, but by using that one we can lose samples.
No, but suppose I say if m is 5 and n is 3, then you cannot time shift, right? Because then the ratio is not going to be an integer. So the shifting has to be in. Then this problem fails. This method fails, right? What do you do? Yeah.
Sir, we can first scale it by n, capital
No.
N.
Scaling does not work. This thing has already been done by
But
Navratna.
then after that, we have to first interpolate by n.
Yes, that is correct.
Interpolate
So what
by
do we
n.
do?
After that,
So you do interpolation by n first, then you time shift it. Yes, very nice. कौन बोल रही है?
sir, Mansa.
months. Okay. So now you do this. Now you do time shifting by n. So you replace n by n minus n. Now once you have this signal, now you decimate it by n.
Yes, sir.
And once you do that, you're going to get n minus m by n. This is it. So all those people who said that m by n should be divisible and you should get integer, they're right. But then again I said that I'm not giving any condition. So this case where you can just time shift xn and you get xn minus k, that is only a special case of this case, because then k is your m by n and they should actually not be relatively prime. But if capital M and capital N are relatively prime, this is not need to happen, right? This is the procedure. So you first interpolate it by n, then you time shift it by m, then you decimate it by n, and that is what your answer is. So you do interpolation, you do time delay, and then you do decimation, and you'll get the answer. All right. So this is some basic operations on sequences. I'm going to give you some problems. There'll be practice problems. I'll be posting the solutions maybe in a couple of days' time. But in the best interest of class participation, I would expect that you people do whatever you do. Just put it on the, just return the solution on the Google Classroom, and I'll just probably give a comment or two after looking at it. And in the next class, we'll move towards discrete systems. I want to now complete this unit quickly because I don't want to spend too much time on very elementary signal and system part, because in signal and system you've kind of done this a little bit, but I want to revise it so that later on things are not very ambiguous once we start, doing DFT and things like that. So, what? Okay, anyway, so that's it. In discrete systems, we are going to look at properties of systems. We have already done this before, but we'll again be looking into it, whether a system is linear, whether a system is time invariant, whether a system is causal, whether a system is stable, so on and so forth. There are some other kind of sequences also that we could have studied, whether a sequence is periodic or not, whether a sequence is energy sequence or power sequence and things like that. I'm going to just put some notes about it. Very briefly we'll discuss in the class next time we meet, and we'll proceed quickly to systems. Alright. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend.